everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're doing music picks my books. So basically, if you watched my TBR at the beginning of the month, I was like sort of in a reading slump, didn't know what to read, and I just was like, I need to do something fun. I need to do like a mood reading type of thing to get kickstarted into reading. I did recently read a whole bunch of middle grade and my computer died. Like I had to go take it in to get fixed and I don't have it right now. In the middle of me editing that video. You probably will have still seen that before you'll see this, but I just finished a bunch of middle grade, which means I now need to read something else. And I don't think I want middle grade, we'll see what happens. But basically, I was talking about how I wanted like something new, something fun, something random to do. And my friend Kirsty from K-Beth Bookish talked about using music to pick my TBR. She did a video of like K-pop stuff relating to books. And I don't actually listen to K-pop, but I do have a Spotify playlist that I think it's titled Road Trip, because anytime we go like on a road trip, especially like if the radio is not really gonna work, I have a mix of songs. I have like 80s music, classic rock, pop punk, not very many new things. Like a lot of the stuff that I listen to are things that are older or things that was really popular for me back when I was in high school, and I have not changed very much. But what I figured what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put my headphones in. We are going to randomize my playlist, and based on the song that comes up, I don't know if we're gonna do like title or feel or what. But then I'm gonna pick a book off my TBR and read it, and we're gonna see how much we can do in like, I don't know, like a week or so. So yeah, let's jump in. Okay, so I will put the screen recording and stuff up here. I have no idea what's gonna come up. Like I said, I'm not gonna rate Spotify. It's on random, completely random order. I'm just gonna hit like play the next one. So this is what I was listening to last, but what is gonna come up next, I'm gonna try not to look and we're just gonna like see. Okay, so this is Train, 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. I love this song. It's very tongue-in-cheek, sarcastic, like. You said it's meant to be, that it's not you, it's me. You're leaving now for my own good. That's cool, but if my friends ask where you are, I'm gonna say she went down in an airplane, fried, getting suntan, fell in a cement mixer full of quicksand. Okay. 50 Ways to Say Goodbye. Okay, I'm not somebody that like has whatchamacallit, like second chance romance books very much. That's what I'm thinking is gonna be the closest for this though, because of the fact that it's basically about like, you broke up with me and I'm not good at handling that, so I'm telling all of my friends that you died instead. So, okay, let's see. Okay, I was intending to do this with stuff on my shelves, right? Like I need to read my TBR, but I'm thinking maybe this is bad. Maybe this is wrong. I'm thinking of Well Actually by Maisie Eddings. I have an arc of this that I didn't get to in time because of the reading slump and everything else that happened. Recently came out like the beginning of this month, August 5th. So I'm behind, but not like too far behind. And it's about a woman who is the host of Sausage Talk, who interviews B-list celebrities over lukewarm hot dogs. And she has an impromptu public call out about her college ex. And he is also in the media spotlight in some way. And he's like, okay, maybe I wasn't a good person before, but I'm gonna take you out on dates and show you that I've changed and I'm a better man now. And I feel like this is sort of like a second chance type of thing. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's the one I'm gonna go with. Okay, so I have been reading for about 51 minutes. This was all up until around dinner time, and it's gotten me to about 20%, which is pretty good. So I've talked about this before, but I use my Bookly app and it'll give me like these summary sort of things. So it'll tell me how long I read, how many pages it equals, because I am doing this on my e-reader. So it actually is percentage versus like the actual number of pages. It could be off a little bit. And it'll also tell me once I get past like, do you want to do a reflection? I don't. I never do the reflections on here. But it'll also then tell me how many more hours and whatnot it'll take me to read. So it's going to take about 3.5 more hours. But I did just want to come and sit down and talk about this a little bit because, like I said, I've gotten like almost an hour in, and it starts off like I wasn't entirely too sure about like our main character of Eva because of the way the internal monologue is at first, like the very, very beginning of the book, like first page or two. She talks about shoving hot dogs down her gullet, and gullet is just like not the word for me apparently. And then she's also talking about her age, and so she was interviewing like a 21-year-old guy, and she says that she is a haggard 27, and I'm just like, do we really, like, what? No. However, as you continue on, the vibes of her is almost exactly the vibes of the song. She is so sarcastic, like self-depreciating, just in general, like so like bland and dry and negative, and like the humor, I feel like, is that humor of the song of like, you know, like it's not the same in the fact that it's like not a breakup book, obviously, like this is more gonna be like a second chance type of thing, but that whole like, you know, getting broken up with, and instead of like telling people that you're broken up with, you're like, she died, and it's like the craziest ways in that song, you know, so like it makes sense. And so I've been really loving it because like some of the things that they talk about, like I have a couple quotes that I've highlighted. That's the one thing I like about ebooks a lot, is that I'll just like highlight things. They don't even have to necessarily mean something, but one of the quotes was, "He walked toward me with the confidence of a man who, honestly, a metaphor is kind of superfluous. He walked forward with the confidence of a man." And I'm just like, yep. There was another part where the reason I guess they're gonna start dating is he wants to like have a second chance, and he said, like, haven't you ever wanted a second chance to right a wrong? And there's a little bit of like her thinking about it, and then she says, "No," I answer back, tilting my head to the side with a cold smile. "I'm thoroughly pleased with all the wrongs I've committed." And so just like the humor, once you get past those couple of things that I had at the very beginning of the story, I'm really liking how dry and sarcastic and witty she is. And I really like the concept of them redoing, like, I think they're gonna do like 6 dates, because she had a really bad experience with him. Like, he basically ghosted her after they had sex for the first time, and it was just like the dates were not good, like all this kind of stuff. We got like 1 flashback so far, and I'm very, very curious to see like what the actual reasoning is if we get it. But like right now we don't really have a ton of him as a character, but we have a ton of Eva as a character, and I'm really, really loving how quick-witted this is. So I can definitely see myself reading more tonight after the kids go to bed, which they're over here. But yeah, very pleasantly surprised so far, and that's where we're at. Okay, everyone, so it is the next morning, and I stayed up too late reading last night. Now, I did stop right around midnight because I am someone who needs like 8 hours of sleep, and I knew I was not going to be able to finish this in a reasonable time period. However, I am so into this book, I did not want to put it down, and I like made myself go to bed because I have kids and we have to get up in the morning and things like that. So yeah, I did do that. I'm actually at about 60% now. It says approximately like 230 pages into this like 380 something page book. I'm gonna finish it today. I have less than 2 hours left. Like, I am so ready to get into it. Let's see. This is the perfect book for the song that we picked. And I think I mentioned that before, but like the way that Eva as a person, as a character, talks about stuff is very sarcastic, and like just like that sort of tone is perfect. We do delve into a little bit of why she acts that way, and it's not just because Riley, who is our love interest, basically ghosted her after they had sex for the first time. it's also like dealing with her family and not feeling good enough for anybody, so she puts up this front. The last part of stuff that I was really reading, and this was a few chapters I'm pretty sure, was delving into this sort of mental nature for both characters and things that were happening in the past as well as currently, and like families, and they went to therapy. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like, I don't necessarily think it's a spoiler, because one of my other favorite books from Maisie Eddings is The Plus One, which is a fake dating romance, but deals with mental health and therapy and PTSD, and I absolutely loved that one. 5 out of 5 stars, like one of my favorite books that year. And that's where I'm feeling like this book is going. This is gonna be 5 out of 5 stars unless something randomly changes from now until I finish the book. This is gonna be a 5 stars. Like, I have been loving it, which is great because the last book of Maisie Eddings that I read was Late Bloomer, and I gave it a 3.5. Like, I just did not enjoy that one. It did have representation of like autism and stuff, but I don't think it had the hard-hitting nature as much as the Plus One and this one. Like, this one is really, really delving into, especially with Eva, like really hard topics. And let me tell you, I cried full on sobbing pretty much when I was reading this last night, for like 30 minutes of reading this. Like, there was a lot of really tough stuff in here, but the way that it is presented, the way that the character is, and then having to deal with that, like, oh my gosh, it got me. And yes, I'm gonna be starting my period soon, so like maybe that enhanced the emotions a little bit, but at the same time, like, I am loving this so far. So I am so excited to read more. Like I said, I'm going to finish this today. My computer is still in the shop, so like I have literally nothing else to do. The other things that I do sometimes when I'm home and the kids and whatnot is like edit videos, which is, you know, good, or play video games and stuff, which is also fun, but like takes away from reading time sometimes. And like, I don't have that excuse right now. So we are going to be reading more. I'm very, very happy with this one. Very excited to get into it. We also are dealing with a lot of different representation and stuff as well. So not only are we dealing with these sort of like mental health aspects more, we also have our main female character of Eva is pansexual. Our love interest of Riley is bisexual. So even though this is a male-female romance, it is queer, and they also have queer friends. Like, there is a guy that Eva is friends with who is in a throuple, and then we also have a trans character that is a friend on Riley's side, and these are people that like we actually get to see in the story. I love it when romances bring in those friendship elements as well, so it's not just like between the two people that are in the romance, it's with the people in their lives. And I love that. So yeah, I could probably gush on this book currently, like all day, but I need to finish it. And like I said, unless something goes horribly wrong in here, I think this book is gonna be a 5 stars. Okay, so I am officially back. I finished the book, Well Actually, by Maisie Eddings. I'm giving it 5 stars. I will say that where I ended yesterday, and where I talked to you guys last, was like the really big, super emotional stuff. And then as soon as I picked it back up, we got into like a lot of sex. I will say it was written good. It was well done, very detailed, very hot, very steamy, a little bit of like a good girl kink going on, which is not like necessarily my thing, but did not take away from my enjoyment because I was really, really enjoying the characters. I will say I can sort of understand why some people might not like this book, because Eva was one of my favorite characters, but she is very messy and has a lot of baggage from the past and things like that going on. And so I can see if maybe you don't like her, you might not like the story as much, but I really, really enjoyed where this went. Again, I don't want this to be like spoilers or anything, and I don't think it necessarily is, but some people might want to know or don't. This did not have a third act breakup, which was very refreshing. It had other stuff going on for sure, but there was no like third act breakup, and it was very, very well done. So like overall, super happy with this. I now need a copy to put on my shelves next to the Plus One, because those are the two that I've read and loved by Maisie Eddings. Like I said, I read Late Bloomer as well, gave it like 3.5. And I will also say one character, Lizzie Blake, showed up in the story for just like a little tiny snippet. So like a character from the past a different book that I have not read. But again, I didn't mind. Like just like a little cameo, and I thought that was great. So that's where we're at for that, because I can't really get into more. I gave you all my thoughts. I really, really like this one. But what that means is I need to bring up my music so we can pick another one, because I sped through that book. It's been like 24 hours since the very first time I started this video. So, okay. So I had a little bit of different music on my Spotify, but I went back to the song that we had yesterday so that when I go into my shuffle, hopefully we just get the next random shuffle song. I have no idea what this is going to be. Again, I'm going to try not to look at it and we'll just see what comes naturally. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Am I going to be picking another romance? Oh gosh, maybe? Okay.
I knew I loved you then, but you'd never know. 'Cause I played it cool and I was scared of letting go. I knew I needed you, but I never showed. But I wanna stay with you until we're grown old.
Okay, so this was a song that I had during my wedding, like one of those like extra songs that you have for like, you know, dances and things like that. So, oh gosh, I just had like an amazing romance book. I don't know if I actually want another romance book, but again, the lyrics and stuff about like say you won't let go, but it's also very much like sort of like he fell first moment. Obviously, like he's very much like, you know, he knew he was in love with her then and didn't want to say anything. So do I have anything else that could maybe fit for something like this? Okay, I'm having a time trying to figure this out. So what I think I'm gonna maybe do is one more, because I was really not thinking I was gonna do another romance, even though I should have known. I have a lot of like more romantic songs on here too, but I can't really think of things that I would know for sure would fit more of like that vibe. I'm thinking it would be potentially some sort of like, I don't know, friends to lovers. Like it just is just like more about the like slow little moments of him falling in love with the girl. And I just, like, I love the song, but I don't know if I have anything that would be like that, and I just don't see it that way. So I'm gonna pull up my Spotify again. We're gonna try another one. Let's see.
When you see my face, hope it gives you hell, hope it gives you hell. When you walk my way, hope it gives you hell.
Almost like a revenge song.
Truth be told, I miss you. And truth be told, I'm lying.
Okay, why does this also just feel like I should be picking a romance? Okay, I did not want another romance, but obviously the songs are leading me there, and I think this actually might fit sort of both songs that we listen to. This Spells Love by Katie Robb. So this is about a girl, a woman, who gets dumped by her long-term boyfriend and reacts the way any reasonable 28-year-old would, by getting drunk with her sister, her kooky aunt, and her best friend Dax. After one too many margaritas, they decide to perform a love cleansing spell that promises to erase Gemma's ex from her memory. And so I feel like the like gives you hell part is more like that sort of like casting a spell, curse thing to like get rid of his memory. Like that, close, right? But this is also going to be then like a friends to lovers romance. She ends up in this like alternate timeline sort of thing where people don't remember her. Like not just them, but like she never dated her ex, but like Dax, her friend, doesn't even know who she is either. And so like it's still going to be a sort of friends to lovers type of thing. I just feel like I'm gonna have to go with this. We're definitely gonna do more after this because this one I think is even shorter than the last one that I read. This one is like just over 300 pages, whereas the other one was a little bit closer to almost 400. We're gonna do this. I think, even though I wasn't planning on a romance, I think this is the one that's gonna fit the best. We shall see. But yeah, a little bit more slightly paranormal magic-y, which is good. So like the other one's definitely like just contemporary romance. This is gonna have a little bit of that magic in there that I think will be good as well. And I'm hoping for whatever song comes up next, we don't have to read a romance. Okay, so it is the next day. I did start reading This Spells Love yesterday. I'm 46 pages in, which means, as I continue, I'm in the middle of a chapter. That usually does not happen. But I also started my period. I told you. So I've been feeling a little... Elliot, can we stop jumping on the beanbag that I'm sitting on, please? A little bleh. But I did start this. We're basically at the very beginning of the whole like alternate reality type of situation. Hello, hello. Like I said, we're at that beginning of that situation. We do start off with our main character. I don't remember anybody's names. Gemma. Having been dumped like 3 weeks ago or something, and her older sister and her great aunt are basically like, you need to get over this. Why don't you just sort of forget about him and have sex with your best friend Dax instead? So like they're very into like Dax as her friend being the new guy. Like I don't know if they know something about his feelings or not, whatever, but so they all end up going to her great aunt's house, who had found this practical magic book, and they're gonna do the love cleansing spell. And in order to, I guess, like finish the love cleansing spell, she's supposed to kiss somebody. And of course, obviously, all the women volunteer Dax. It doesn't happen right away. She ends up getting drunk. He helps take her home, and at the end of the night, they kiss. And now she has woken up, not in her apartment, in somebody else's apartment. Some random guy who she does not know who he is. But from the way it happens, it sounds like maybe this is somebody that she is supposed to know in this new life. And we're like at that new beginning now. She tries to go back to her apartment, and the doorman there is like, I don't know who you are. She looks at her license, and there's a completely different address on there. So like that's where I stopped. I think it was like dinner time or something, so we stopped. I do want to continue in this. I will say I don't think it's hooking me as quickly as the previous book. Well, actually, like that one I was pretty into pretty quickly. I do want to read more. I will also say that for whatever reason, we had a Harry Potter name drop in here, and this was published in 2023, and I feel like usually that's a pretty hard pass for me. Like that does not need to be in a book like this. So I am a little bit put off by that. We'll see as it goes, because again, this shouldn't be anything too crazy to get into, but like, I don't know. It was a really, really weird name drop sort of thing, because like the only thing that could even potentially be that is like they had a magic book that is supposed to have like a cleansing spell. Like I don't understand why we needed to do that. I don't know. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to try and continue more. The kids are obviously in here with me making, I don't know, a path of stuff. A family. But they started with like rainbow markers and moved into a bunch of Elliot's rocks, and now they're having bugs and bluey stuff and whatnot. This is my library, obviously, as you guys can tell. They have a whole ass playroom, but one of their favorite things to do is bring their toys in here and just sort of be in here with me, which is fine, except for then my floor is a mess. So, yeah. Okay, we're gonna attempt to read more. There's Presley. He starts school in a couple days, huh?
Yes!
He's very excited to be in first grade. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and read more, and I'll see you guys later. Okay, so I have finished this now. I don't remember, I think I talked to you guys yesterday about this. It took me a couple days. I started this the same day that I had finished the previous one, and then I finished it yesterday. And I think it helped that I was on my period because I literally had cramps and did not want to do anything. So I read this. I will say I don't think it was nearly as good as the last one that I read. Well, actually. And that was part of the reason I didn't want another romance, because I knew with how good that was, I was going to be comparing it. And I don't want to say that this is necessarily bad. It just wasn't as good. We did have that one Harry Potter name drop, so I'm just gonna like, that is in here because it was only once and it was like a name drop versus like an actual concept. I don't think it was as bad, but at the same time, this was published in 2023. We do not need any name drops in here. I do think this book fit very, very well for actually both of those songs, Say You Won't Let Go and Gives You Hell. So I think it worked because this is definitely more of that romance, sort of friends to lovers, not exactly, because it is sort of like an alternate reality type of thing. And it all comes about because they're trying to like curse the ex, love cleanse her life from her ex, that kind of thing. I will say I thought the ending of this one was too quick. Like we got to a point where like they needed to wrap the ending up and there was only like 20 pages left. And I was like, I would have loved them to have sped up that ending, like, or written more so that we actually had more time to sort of bask in the like more happy nature of the ending of the book. I felt like they were taking forever to like hem and haw over how this book was actually going to end. It ended the way I wanted, but it was like I wanted more from it. If it was going to end the other way, because there was another way it could have, you know, she was going back and forth multiple times. If it was going to end the other way, I don't think I would have liked the book as much, but at the same time, I wanted more from it. I wanted more of like the happy nature. It was still very good. I think this is like, if you like 13 going on 30, any of those sort of like more rom-com-y type of things with that like magical nature in them, I do think it lived up to that. Like I was very happy with that aspect, but I kept comparing it. I'm gonna give it a 4. I think it was good. I will keep it on my shelves. I just think I kept comparing it, and like for now, for sure, I do not want another romance because I don't think that's gonna go well for me. I want something different. Okay, so I have left it on the music that we were on before. I sometimes go and like listen to stuff in between, so like that's what happened last time. This time, it didn't. Let's see what we're gonna get next. If we get anything where the only thing I can think of is romance, we're gonna go to another one. Sort of like what we did last time because I was trying my best. I do not want romance. So let's see what we're gonna get. I feel like we could potentially have not romance with this.
We're going down, down, around, and sugar, we're going down swinging. I'll be your number one with a bullet. A loaded gun complex, targeting bullet. We're going down, down.
Okay, for some reason, I'm really thinking this could be some sort of dark academia in a way. Like I just feel like there is a lot of angst in here and that whole like loaded god complex. Like I don't know, I feel like we could get something dark maybe with this one. Like I said, I think we could really get into a sort of dark academia type of situation maybe here, something dark. And I'm pretty sure I have a ton of stuff over here, but for some reason, and maybe this is not where you guys went with this, I'm thinking the Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. This is the Illumicrate Evernight exclusive edition, but this is a YA. Definitely gonna be different than romance. I do think this is gonna be a little bit dark, a little bit witchy, and I just feel like that whole sort of like loaded god complex, like that, I'm just leaning toward that sort of more dark area. 5 women are dead. The killer leaves no fingerprints, no DNA. Police are utterly stumped. In a world where only women can use magic and the men who know about it seek to eradicate them, 3 damaged young women, 1 cursed, 1 hunted, 1 out for revenge, will team up to track down and take out a brutal, supernatural killer. Yeah, for some reason, this is where I'm gravitating towards. And I think because this does feel like it's gonna be very different than the romances, this is gonna work in my favor. We're gonna go with this. So I have not read anything in the Invocations, but like, it's very pretty underneath the dust jacket. Looks like an old-fashioned style of book. Hopefully you guys can sort of see it. It's like gold foiled and whatnot. Mainly because today was Presley's first day of first grade. It's only like 11 o'clock right now, so he's definitely still in school. Elliot's behind us. We're trying potty training as well. It's just a lot. But like yesterday was meet the teacher. The day before school was their open house, go see your classroom, meet the teacher. He is very excited for first grade. There's a couple kids in his class that he's had in his class before. There's other kids in his class that he's seen and played with like on the playground and stuff, even if they weren't necessarily in his class last year. So I'm hoping it's going to be really, really good. His teacher seems super nice. But he had drop off this morning, and the pickup procedure is going to be a little bit different because he's not in kinder. Kinder, you actually had to have like your ID, and the parent takes you from the teacher at the back gate. This one, they're going to be like separated into like different groups based on where they live, and then they get dismissed to us. Like, he's still young enough that like a parent needs to be there, but like it's not at the gate where like a kindergarten was. So I was explaining that to him today, and then he went into the gate, like through the gate this morning, so that he could go to his classroom. But they had them line up, and that was something they did is a little different than last year, because last year the kinders could just go into their kindergarten classroom. This time they had to line up, and I think it was just the idea of me telling him that dismissal is going to be different, and the idea of not exactly knowing where to go necessarily in the morning, because like he does know, like we went yesterday, we saw his teacher, he knows his classroom number, all that kind of stuff, but I saw him start crying, and I felt so bad. But I mean, like, he was, you know, wiping his eyes a little bit and like getting himself together, so I think it's gonna be a good day. I haven't heard anything else yet, so I mean, I feel like as long as teacher's not trying to like get a hold of me about something, we're probably good. But so basically yesterday and today was a lot more of making sure that we were ready for first grade, because today is the first day of first grade. My computer is still in the shop. I posted a little video on Instagram with them basically saying they had to take my whole computer apart, and they were thinking it was maybe a CPU core and we'd have to do an extended warranty and all this kind of stuff. Who knows? They called me back about an hour or so after that saying that it might be the SSD. We shall see. We're trying to replace that now and see if that's going to help. Basically, they were able to like reproduce the computer crashing a few times, like on Sunday and Monday, I think maybe it was, because yesterday was Tuesday, Monday, with my computer stuff, and then they were trying to figure out exactly what it was. They reinstalled in Windows, it wasn't that, and they ended up on, I guess, their SSD. Like everything that they checked for the computer apparently was good. Like when they went through individual parts and was like doing the tests, it should be fine. But obviously something was not working right. So they were on like, I guess, their store SSD, and it seems like it should be fine. So we're replacing that and hoping that solves the issue. We shall see, but I'm hoping that's what it is, because the whole CPU being an issue would be a much more expensive, and would have to like send the computer out to get examined and fixed. And with that happening, I can't edit videos. Like, I was so close to being done with my editing before, and my computer just basically stopped working on me. So I do have a Zoom meeting soon about like book tracker website things, which I'm excited for, but I had to push it back because my computer, and I'm borrowing my husband's computer because my computer's still in the shop, and I'm just like, I'm really hoping, it's only 2 years old. It's only 2 years old. I'm hoping it'll be just the SSD and it'll be good. There's like $100 to fix. Hopefully that's it. We'll see. But like it pushes everything back in a bad way. Like, I don't have the ability to edit and all that other stuff. So that was also happening yesterday. So yesterday was open house, trying to figure out what was actually wrong with my computer. Today's the first day of school, and I have my meeting soon. And then after that, I will be focusing on this, because I still feel like dark academia type of thing is gonna fit that song very well. This is like 300 and something pages, almost 400 I want to say, but it's YA. So hopefully this just like sucks me in and I get some sort of like, I don't know, angsty dark story. I want to see, I want to know. I did not read anything yesterday. By the time the kids went to bed, and they went to bed on time, I could have read, but like my brain was just too much stuff. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Can you guys hear that sound in the background? That's my computer. It's actually not as loud as it was when I first picked up my laptop from getting it fixed. This week has just been crazy, by the way. We are now on the last day of August. I got my computer back a couple days ago, and as soon as I got it back, it was so loud, like jet plane shaking, rattling loud. And my fan was not like that when I first took the computer in. So I took it back. It looks like I need to get our fan replaced. There's 2 fans in there. I don't even know exactly which one. We're gonna do that. I should be able to use it anyway, but I'm gonna try not to use it for anything more than just like editing potentially. I think I also mentioned before, my stuff did not back up. I've been posting updates on YouTube Shorts and on Instagram, so I actually don't know exactly what I told you guys, but like my stuff did not back up. So I have a vlog from before this one that needs to be re-edited so I can do that. I'm also in the middle of the Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. I'm a little bit more than halfway through. I'm gonna finish it today. I have like 2 hours left. It's interesting because it's a little bit slow in like the pacing of stuff. We have 3 different women who are all like late teens, early college age, I want to say, that have interest in the occult and in witchiness in different ways. One is cursed and is trying to figure out how to uncurse herself. One's sister passed away almost a year ago and she's trying to resurrect her. And the other one is a curse writer who wrote curses and witchy things for other women who are now being murdered. And they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on. It took them a little while to come together, and we are now at like the first part of them actually like really figuring out what's going on and trying to solve stuff. So I definitely want to finish it. I don't know what I would rate it yet because it is not quite the same pacing that I would really want from this. However, I do think the vibes fit the song very, very well. It's less dark academia and more just like really witchy, but it has some really gruesome aspects, and I do think that whole like song choice, like the god complex type of thing, the magic system, it's very like women focused in here. You can't have magic if you're a guy, and so we do have a lot of talk about like misogynist stuff and patriarchy and things like that, which I do enjoy. Again, I don't know if it's 100% my thing, but I'm very curious to see where it's going to go. I'll probably update you guys like one more time when I actually finish it. But I do think so far for this vlog, the types of books that I've picked for the music has worked pretty well. I just have also been dealing with a lot of computer stuff. I mean, it's been like 3 days or so since you guys last saw me. Presley's been dealing with school. He had a really tough first day, but the second day was better. But then he has this like special gifted program that he's supposed to do next week, every Friday. And it's at a different school. So like trying to prepare him for changes is interesting, especially when like we don't know exactly what to expect. There's an open house for this specific school coming up soon too. So like just lots of stuff has been happening in my life that was not necessarily related to books. However, I also filmed my TBR for this next month. And I think we're getting back on track with reading, which is great. I really want to get this vlog out to you guys. I mean, you will see this obviously, but like because the computer was broken and things like that, everything has been pushed back. Like I haven't actually posted a video in over a week now. And so we're just trying to get back on track. So like I said, today, right now when I'm filming, last day of August, my goal is to finish this book because I do not want to roll it over into September if I can help it. And so yeah, I will update you guys when I finish. Okay, so it is officially the end of August. Well, it will be. It's like 8 p.m. on August 31st. The kids are going to be getting ready to have a bath and go to bed and everything like that. And I wanted to let you know that before dinner tonight, I finished the Invocations by Crystal Sutherland. So these are our main characters here. This is a very pretty edition. Not quite as good as I feel like the original cover. Like it's gorgeous. It really is. But I really liked the original. I did like that it looks like a book underneath, and this is a book that is in the book. I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I don't think this is necessarily bad. I do think it's not really gonna stick with me. I do feel like it fits the song that I picked. So I do think if you're going for like that sort of vibe, I think it could work. But it was a little bit slower than I wanted. It took a little while for the three girls to get together into like the main plot. The main plot took a little while. There was a point where we got to like almost like halfway through the book, and I was like, this could be the climax. It obviously wasn't. It was just like, I don't know, like a pseudo climax almost, because like it felt like it could have been the main point of the plot. It could have been the climax of everything coming together, but it wasn't. I will say I liked some of where the ending was going, but I saw it coming from quite a bit of ways. It wasn't supposed to be necessarily like, I don't think it was supposed to be like a twist or anything like that. I do think it was supposed to be maybe like more of like a reveal of things, and I was fine with it, but I just didn't think it did as much for me as it could have. Again, 3.5 because I don't think it's like my new favorite. Like I didn't really love it. It was fine. I think it was better than just okay. I think the way it was written was pretty good, but do I really see myself ever reading this again? No. I keep books on my shelves that are usually at least 3.5 stars, especially 4s and 5s. Because this is a 3.5, I'm currently at the point where I don't know if I'm going to unhaul it eventually or not. Like, it was a good time experience, but I don't think it's going to stick with me. You know what I mean? So like, it was fine. But so, yeah, that's where I'm feeling like with this one. And now because it is the end, August 31st, we're gonna end this vlog here. I did do 3 books based on music, based on my Spotify playlist randomly, obviously. And I do think I succeeded personally in that endeavor. I do think the songs that came up made me look for books related to those, and based on the things that I picked, I really feel like they fit very, very well. So like if I was going to be giving recommendations for songs, I think these books fit those for sure. I definitely want to do this again, especially maybe at a time where I'm not too sure what I want to do, because it definitely made me look at my books that I have on my TBR a little bit differently. And overall, this was pretty good reading because I had a 3.5, I think a 4, and a 5. Like, that 5, well, actually, still thinking about it to this day. And it's been a little bit longer than what you guys have seen, obviously, because it took me a little bit to get into this because of school and all that kind of stuff. So, yes. So thank you, Kirsty, so much for suggesting this. I do think it worked out phenomenally, and this is going to be the end of this vlog. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I do have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!